Hello everyone, I hope everyone's having an incredible week this week. I know that there have been a lot of sports headlines, from Kevin Durant's Achilles injury to the U.S. women's national team annihilating Thailand in the Women's World Cup, and even the St. Louis Blues, for the first time in franchise history, winning the Stanley Cup. But I really want to touch on another hot topic in track and field, and it is a recap of the NCAA track and field championships. A lot of records went down, a lot of people are going pro, so let's go ahead and get into my recap. This was probably one of the most exciting track and field events that I've watched in a very long time. It was just an all-around great meet at the University of Texas. Congratulations to Texas Tech and to Arkansas on winning the men's and women's team titles, respectively. I'm thrilled that a lot of my predictions came true. I picked the men's team title correctly, and I did say that the women's team title was going to come down to the women's 4x4, which I'll get to momentarily in this video. I also posted individual picks on Tumblr, and I got a lot of those right as well. I was even really detailed with the women's 4x100 meter relay. I figured that it would be USC or LSU, and it would come down to the handoffs on all three exchanges. So let's go ahead and start there. My first big surprise in the meet was the rise of Sha'carri Richardson out of Dallas Carter High School and LSU. If you guys remember, I did say that if I wanted to be a track and field athlete in this moment in time, I would want to be Sha'carri Richardson. If I were to be a track athlete at this stage, I would want to be Sha'carri Richardson out of LSU because she brings so much passion and so much fire to her runs. I love watching Sha'carri run. She has picked up the mantle that Aaliyah Hobbs left behind at LSU, and she's on the Bowerman watch list. Sha'carri was out for blood, y'all. Like, it was absolutely insane, and she's just 19 years old. So in the women's 4x1, when USC and LSU were getting down to the anchor leg, USC did have a little bit faster exchange than LSU, but Sha'carri made up ground so quickly. And even though she was outleaned by 9/1000ths of a second, she would not let that slow her down in the women's 100 meter dash. And that's what made her part of the SportsCenter top 10 that night. If you haven't seen the race, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link below, so go ahead and check it out in the description because it is one of the best 100 meter races I've seen in college track and field. Not only did she win the event, but she broke a 30-year-old record set by another LSU Tiger, Dawn Sewell, back in 1989 at the national championships at BYU. Absolutely insane. Also broke the under 20 world junior record, so she has the world record in that category. And she has the fastest time in the world this year. It amazes me that kids born in 2000 are running these times. Like, it's incredible. Sha'carri will not be returning to LSU, so we won't see her in the college circuit anymore. But she is going pro, as she announced a few hours ago. So we'll be able to see her go toe-to-toe with some of the best in the world, including fellow LSU alumna Aaliyah Hobbs. So that's going to be very interesting, especially when it comes down to the World Championships this year and the Olympic Games next year in Tokyo. Sha'carri is not the only person who announced that they were going pro. Grant Holloway is also going to go pro. Now, he was expected to go pro, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me, but what did surprise me was that he was able to set 2 NCAA records in one meet. He was on the Florida 4x1 and they broke the NCAA record, and he is the only college athlete to run under 13 seconds in a men's 110 meter hurdles event. Absolutely incredible. Great way to close off not just a stellar season, but a stellar career in Gainesville. And I wish him nothing but the best. While Sha'carri was my women's MVP, Grant Holloway, based on his 2 performances alone, was my men's MVP of the meet. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do at the pro circuit. Holloway's rival Daniel Roberts of Kentucky also announced that he's going pro, so we get to see more of those high hurdle matchups, both indoor and outdoor, which is going to be some kind of headline, especially as we head toward Worlds and Olympics. Mondo Duplantis is going pro as well and recently signed a deal with Puma. So he's going to be the new face of Swedish athletics on the pro circuit, and I'm very excited to see what records he can break in indoor and outdoor pole vault against some of the best in the world. I think it's an exciting time for track and field. You're starting to see a lot of these young athletes get huge endorsement deals, and even though they have to leave college in order to take advantage of those deals, the IAAF is going to have to start taking NCAA athletes seriously. You have tons of athletes from over 52 different countries in the national championships alone. And the IAAF doesn't always recognize NCAA times as world leading times. They're gonna have to though, because Kayla White, like I said, coming in, she had the fastest time in the world this year in the 100. Sha'carri Richardson blew that out the water. They're gonna have to start recognizing these athletes for what they can do in spite of being college students. The next biggest surprise to me was Mississippi State's javelin team. Mississippi State didn't bring a whole lot of people to the national championship. Not a lot of cowbells qualified for the finals, but their javelin team swept first, second, and third place in the men's category, and that got them the 24 points they needed to place just outside the top 10. In fact, going into the final day of competition, at one point, Mississippi State was in first place just based on their javelin squad. Now, they did what I thought Florida was going to do in the men's hammer throw, where their hammer throwers are going to sweep the event, and that probably would have put them over the edge in beating out Texas Tech in the national championship. But I mean, more cowbell, why not? I'm very excited to see what Mississippi State can do next season and if they can build on their success both indoor and outdoor. The one thing that disappointed me about the national championship, you hate to see it, dropped batons. It reminded me so much of when U of H dropped the baton at the regional final. In fact, LSU dropped the baton at the men's 4x100 meter final. The two teams that talked the most at the Texas relays, the two teams that blew up the internet over their 4x1 finish at the same event in March, could not get it done at the University of Texas. I was very disappointed because I was really looking forward to a rematch. Also in the women's 4x4, as I mentioned earlier, I did say that the women's team title was going to come down to USC and Arkansas, and it was going to come down to the women's 4x400 meter relay. Now, I had USC winning the event. All USC had to do was beat Arkansas. All Arkansas had to do was beat USC. Neither team had to win the event nor to win the national championship in the team title. And on the second leg, coming down the home stretch, it was unfortunate. Anna Cockrell dropped the baton. She was already having a great day in the women's 400 meter hurdles, getting first place, but I believe she got bumped from behind. There was a lot of shuffling in the first two legs, and I believe that she got bumped from behind, and that's what caused the baton to just pop out of her hand. And once that happened, USC was taken out the competition. All Arkansas had to do was place, and that's what allowed them to win the national championship. I do think that USC can recover from this. I'm looking forward to seeing them go toe-to-toe against Arkansas again next season, and maybe we'll get the rematch that I'm looking for. I'm thrilled to see how next year is gonna stack up in NCAA competition. Even though a lot of people are leaving by going pro or just by graduating, you have a lot of fresh faces coming in, starting with Matthew Bowling going to the University of Georgia. And once more, I know I've said this all video long, but you're coming off the World Championships and going into the Olympics. Again, you have athletes from over 50 different countries at these schools, and I'm sure that they're all going to try to make their respective national teams so that way they can compete on the world's biggest stage during the biggest fortnight in sports. I absolutely cannot wait. That's about it for me. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube, whatever you guys decide to do. Hopefully all of them, because I'm active on all these platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk soon.